So I've been reflecting on my spiritual journey and looking at the different moments or periods in time that I really felt this connectedness with the universe, with all that is, so I can better understand how to have more of those moments. And this is what I found out. Whenever I was experiencing that type of connection, it was always because I was focused more on myself than anything else that was going on in my life. And I don't mean that in a selfish way, because sometimes that meant focusing on my family and focusing on those that I love. Whenever I've stepped back in my life away from the things that cause me anxiety and focus more on the things that I love, that's when I feel that connectedness. And it's almost like this euphoric feeling. As a matter of fact, it is exactly like that. It is a euphoric feeling. It's nirvana, it's enlightenment, it's whatever you want to put a label on, but it feels really fucking good. And it didn't center around any kind of spiritual practice, ritual, or routine. What it all came down to is focusing on the things that I loved, doing more of those, and doing less of the things that took my energy away. But I'm a practical person, and I realize that we do need to focus on some of those things in our life that we don't really enjoy doing, because that's what we do to move the needle forward and increase our quality of life. So we get even more opportunities to enjoy the things that we really love doing. I could tell you from past experiences, when I have only focused on things that have brought me joy, it's almost like I dissociate from my life and it starts to fall apart in certain areas, the areas I'm not paying attention to. The opposite is true as well. When I tend to focus more on the mundane and less on the things that I love doing, I start to feel burnt out. I start to get frustrated and I lose that connectedness. So finding that balance is very important. And what I've learned is that by focusing on the way that I feel, I can start to pick up on clues on what area I need to focus on. Is it more about myself? Is it more about the mundane or the day-to-day things that are happening in my life? So those of you that are out there struggling to find that connectedness, what I can tell you is I don't think that there's any way that we can live in that feeling at all times. But when you find that balance and you find that sweet spot, that's when the euphoria comes. That's when the nirvana comes. That's when all of those amazing feelings and you can see how beautiful life really is. Personally, I've had that feeling last for days or even weeks. Even when I come out of that feeling of connectedness, I know that I'm not that far from it. Just by focusing on either myself or day-to-day life, I know that eventually I will get back there. So if you're wanting to feel that euphoric connectedness more consistently and you want some help doing that, consider applying for my mentorship program.